ආරබත නික්කමත යුඤ්ජත බුද්ධ ශාසනේ දුනාත මච්චුනෝ සේනං නලාගාරං වකුඤ්ජරෝ යෝයිමස්මින් ධම්ම විනයේ අප්පමත්තෝ විහෙස්සති පහාය ජාති සංසාරං දුක්ඛසන්තං කරෙස්සති බුද්ධං 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 වන්දේ ධම්මං 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 වන්දේ සංඝං 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 වන්දේ බුද්ධං ධම්මං සංඝං වන්දේ. Homage to the Buddha, homage to the Dhamma, the teachings of the Buddha, homage to the Sangha, the noble disciples of the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Venerable sirs, monastics, friends in the Dhamma, here at the Sri Sampano Monastery in Germany, we gathered in order to listen to the Dhamma, what the Buddha explained. Dhamma means the reality of the world. Dhamma, here we listening to that the Buddha realized and proclaimed to the world. The Buddha says very clearly, a Buddha appears or not in this world, this truth is forever. We say this message as the Buddhism because the Buddha realized it. But it is very clear, the Buddha says, whether a Buddha appears or not in this world, this Dhamma is forever. But we call this message as Buddha's message, Buddhism or Dhamma, because the Buddha realized it. Dhamma means the world reality, what happens to our life and what happens to the world. The more we understand the Dhamma, the more we understand the world and ourselves. The more we understand ourselves, the more we understand the nature of our minds. The more we understand the nature of our minds, the more we understand the defilements. If we can understand the defilements or negative thoughts that arise in our minds, we can overcome those negativities, defilements, negative thoughts from our minds. The entire message of the Buddha is that happiness. Happiness is the main purpose of everyone who was born in this world. We do everything in the name of happiness. From morning to going to bed, from birth to death, we do all activities in the name of happiness. For happiness, we study, we develop our education, we have some jobs, we earn money, we collect some material things and we create our relatives and children. We do all things in the name of happiness. But unfortunately, day by day, happiness goes away from us. What is the reason? What is the cause? We always think that happiness comes from the outside world. And also we think that outside people and things can bring happiness for our lives. But real happiness arises inside. Real happiness depends on the purification of our minds. The more we understand our minds, the more we understand the negative thoughts that arise in our minds, then we can purify our mind. Our happiness completely depends on purification of our minds. What are the negativities that disturb our peace of mind? When we are going to overcome negative thoughts from our minds, we should understand the main defilements, negative thoughts, negativities that disturb our peace of mind. What are the main unwholesome mental states that disturb our peace of mind? They are lobha, dosa and moha, craving, anger and delusion. The more we can overcome these negativities, the more we can purify our mind. The more we purify our mind, the more we are happier. And also there is a very special thing. When we do some activities in our day-to-day life, we always think that happiness is in future. We think that happiness will come in the future. And also we think that after we do something, we think that happiness comes after we fulfill something. After we complete something, we will be happy. That is why we are hurried to do something. We think that even you sweep or clean something, even you prepare food for the monks, you think that you will be happy after you fulfill those things, after you finish it. That is the nature of our day-to-day activities. But what is the nature of practicing Dhamma? When you really come to the Dhamma, happiness is in the present moment. Happiness is not in the past or future. Happiness is in this present moment. Then we can understand whether we are happy or not. If we are hurried to do something, if we are hurried to finish something, it means we are not happy. If we are slow and mindful, that means we are enjoying the present moment. We are happy in this present moment. This is the nature of practicing Dhamma. For that, we should have clear understanding about our practice. The Buddha says very clearly that the liberation definitely comes to the person who has clear understanding. The liberation or for the getting rid of suffering completely depends on the person who has right understanding. That is why Buddha says, Samma Ditti Pure Javan. Right understanding is the forerunner. Samma Ditti. Correct understanding. Correct vision is first. Then mission. Vision and mission. Buddhism explains vision, mission and result. Vision is first, then mission. When you go to a place, firstly we should know the place where we are going to. Without knowing the place where we are going to, we never start our journey, our trip. Vision is first, then mission. Vision without mission is useless. Mission without vision is blind. In this situation, both vision and mission are very important. And also, the more we have vision, the more we have mission. The more we have mission, the more we can see the results in some levels. We usually think that Nibbanam Paramam Sukham, Nirvana or Nibbana is the highest bliss. That is correct. But while we are reaching our final destination, Nibbana, on the way, we can enjoy our life. We can be happy. You know, when we are going to 100 miles, we usually think that we will be happy after we reach the destination, 100 miles. If we think it, then we miss looking around the road. While we are reaching the destination 100 miles, we can enjoy the environment. We can talk with each other. We can look at around the roads, around the environment, and we can enjoy the present moment. Practice Dhamma also like that. Vision means right understanding, and mission means practice. Practice is explained in various ways in Buddhist teachings. Sometimes Buddha explained you have to practice the Noble Eightfold Path. Sometimes Buddha says you have to practice Samatha and Vipassana, or the concentration and wisdom. Sometimes Buddha has explained you have to practice 5 spiritual faculties: Saddha, Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Sometimes you have to reflect on 3 characteristics: Anicca, Dukkha and Anatta. Finally, Buddha says you have to practice only one thing. What is that? Mindfulness. Mindfulness is the highest practice of Buddha's message. Here, first of all, we are going to explain the characteristics of the Dhamma. Every day when we do our Vandana, in the morning and evening, we recite some formulas. Itipiso Bhagavāraham, Ssvakkhato Bhagavata Dhammo, Supatipanno Bhagavato Ssāvaka Sangho. Itipiso Bhagava means the qualities of the Buddha. Ssvakkhato Bhagavata Dhammo means the qualities of the Dhamma. Ssvakkhato Supatipanno Bhagavato Dhammo Sangho, it means the qualities of the Sangha. Here we are going to discuss the qualities of the Dhamma. Ssvakkhato Bhagavata Dhammo. Dhamma is well expounded by the worthy one, exalted one. Sanditthiko, visible results. Akaliko, immediately effective. Ehipassiko, we can call someone, please come and see. That calling one to come and see. 𝒂𝐡𝐚𝐼𝐸𝐻 leading onwards. 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃. It should be realized by the wise. These are the qualities of the Dhamma. And also there is a very special thing. 𝒏𝓃 means Dhamma is well expounded by the Exalted One. 𝒏𝓃 means it has a gradual path. Ādhi-kalyanam, Madhya-kalyanam, Pariyosāne-kalyanam. Excellent is the beginning. Excellent is the middle. Excellence is the end. What is the beginning? Beginning is sila, virtue. What is the middle? Middle is samadhi or tranquility or concentration. And what is the end? End is panya or wisdom. Visible results. We can see the results in this immediate life if we correctly practice the Dhamma. What the Buddha explained. Immediately effective. Immediately we can see the results. And also ehipasiko, we can say want to come and see. This Dhamma is not come and believe. The Buddha says come and see. That is very important. You have freedom. If you don't accept it, you can go away. But always encourage us to come and see, not come and believe. That is very important. And 𝒂𝐴𝐸𝐻 leading onwards. When we practice this Dhamma, we can see it in our lives. And also 𝒮𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃 ℒ𝒶𝓃, this should be realized by the wise. When we come to the Dhamma, especially, we should have very primary qualities. Even though we have a lot of mistakes, defilements, it doesn't matter. But from the beginning to end, we should have very special qualities. What they are. The very first one is suvacha, active listening. We should be gently spoken, good attention. That is the very first quality, not only in practicing Dhamma, but even in the educational field. The very first quality that we should have is that active listening. That is very important. The second one, honesty. Honesty is very important. We should have honest effort in order to overcome defilements from our minds. That is very important. And also the third one, we should be wise. The Buddha says very clearly, 𝐴තු විඤ්ඤෝ පුරිසෝ asato amayavi 𝑛 Buddha invite the people who are honest, who are wise, and also who are not cunning. Then they can understand the Dhamma and also they can practice Dhamma. These qualities are very important. There are three qualities from the beginning to end. We should have active listening, honesty, and intelligence, or we should be wise. If we have these qualities, we can go forward gradually. And also, there is a very special stanza, I think already you have heard it, which is summarize all the Buddhist doctrines. Sabbapāpa sakaranam කුසලසුපසම්පදා සචිත්ත පරියෝධපනං ඒතං බුද්ධාන ශාසනං. Not to do any evil, practicing wholesome deeds, purifying one's mind. This is the message of all Buddhas who appear in this world. Not only our present Gautama Buddha, all the Buddhas who appear in this universe explain the same message. There are three things that they explain. What they are? Sabba papa sakaranam, not to do any evil. Kusala supasambada, practicing good deeds or wholesome deeds. And sacitta pariyodhapanam, purifying one's mind. This is the message. Among these three things, sacitta pariyodhapanam is very important. Purifying one's mind. We purify our mind from craving, anger, and delusion. In the primary level, by practicing samatha bhavana, we practice some samatha meditation techniques. By practicing samatha or tranquility or concentration meditation, we reduce hindrances. There are 5 hindrances that disturb our peace of mind. What they are? The very first one is kamacchanda, sensual pleasure, anger or ill will, sloth and torpor, restlessness and worry, skeptical doubts. These are the hindrances that disturb our peace of mind. By practicing samatha bhavana, we reduce these negativities from our minds. And also by practicing insight meditation or vipassana bhavana, we reduce ignorance completely. By reducing ignorance, we have to overcome all the negativities from our minds. This is the practice of Buddhist teachings. In very first step, we practice samatha bhavana such as metta bhavana, buddha anusati, dhatu manasikara or the contemplation of fundamental elements or breathing meditation. By using meditation techniques, firstly we reduce negative thoughts from our minds. We calm down primary developments from our minds. And also when mind gradually gains concentration, we reflect on impermanence. What is the nature of ignorance? What is the nature of impermanence? Is it difficult what I am explaining? Firstly, we should understand the nature of impermanence, what Buddhism has explained. What is the impermanence? Usually we can see when something is changing, people mostly say that this is impermanence, anicca. Actually, this is not the real meaning of impermanence in Buddhism. Everyone can understand changing. Before Buddha did his renunciation, Buddha had understood changing. I think you have heard about Buddha's renunciation. Before his great renunciation, he had realized that people or human beings or beings are going to old age, sickness, death. Those things had been understood by the Bodhisattva before he gave up his palace and relatives. After he attained enlightenment, Buddha says, I realized something that I had never heard. That is very important. This is the identity of Buddhism. Changing can be understood by anyone. Even scientists divide in atoms. They understand the changing. But that is not the real meaning of impermanence. What is the impermanence? Impermanence means our body and mind every moment arises and ceases at the moment. Not being occurred comes to occurred. Being occurred will not go to occurrence. Ahutva sambhutang hutva na bhavisati. For an example, when you listening to this sound was not here before you heard it. After you hearing it, this sound doesn't remain here. This is the nature of impermanence. But someone can understand this finger can be destroyed, my ears can be destroyed. That belongs to the primary level impermanence. That is the common thing in impermanence that can be understood by anyone. But deep meaning of impermanence in Buddhism is that this sound arises and ceases at the moment. Because of some causes or reasons, this sound arises at the moment. When the reasons or causes disappear, this sound also ceases at the moment. Because of some causes, this sound arises at the moment. When those causes disappear, then immediately that sound ceases. And also this sound didn't come to the present from the past, and also this sound will not go to future from the present. It arises and ceases at the moment. There is another meaning here, which is because of these some causes, my fingers, my effort, my ears, my consciousness, because of these causes or reasons, this sound arises at the moment. But very important thing, this sound doesn't belong to any reason, any cause. Because of my fingers, this sound arises. But this sound doesn't belong to my fingers. This sound doesn't belong to my consciousness. This sound doesn't belong to even my ears. But if there were no causes, we can see the sound. Our all experiences are also like that. When we look at something, at this present moment, my eye arises. And also forms also arise at the moment. Eye consciousness, eye contact, eye feelings, eye sensation. Everything arises at the moment. And also when those causes cease, the experience also ceases. This is the thing that we should understand. And also there is a very special thing. When we see the Buddha's message, it has a gradual path. It has an order. Dhamma is like the ocean. You know the ocean or sea? The ocean gradually deepens from the beach to the deeper water. Dhamma also like that. It has a gradual path. At the very beginning, Buddha says, practicing generosity. Then practicing virtue or moral conduct. Practicing samadhi. Practicing mindfulness. And finally, practicing wisdom. This has a gradual path. Little by little, we go to the deeper level. And also here we should understand the triple gem, the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. The more we know the Dhamma, the more we understand the Buddha. The more we understand the Buddha, the more we understand his noble disciples. Sangha. Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha are interrelated. When we understand the Dhamma, we are confident in the Buddha, Dhamma and the Sangha. Confidence is very important. The Buddha says, Saddha molika sabbepi kusala dhamma. Saddha or the confidence is the foundation of all wholesome activities. Saddha is the foundation. Saddha molika sabbepi kusala dhamma. What is the saddha? What is the confidence? Confidence or saddha means confidence in what the Buddha taught, what the Buddha realized. What the Buddha realized and proclaimed to the world. The Buddha says very clearly, in the past and the present, I explain only suffering and the cessation of suffering. If there is something which arises in the world, that is suffering. It's something which ceases in the world, that is suffering. Whatever thing you have arise in this world, that is suffering. When you remember something, when you remember your mom, when you remember your vehicle, your house, your siblings, what is that? What is that? That is suffering. Why it is suffering? When you remember something, you may think that there is something in the outside world at this moment, as you experience. Is it true? It is true according to the conventional truth. But when we go to the deeper level in ultimate truth, it is not true. For an example, if I take a picture here, I give you. As soon as I give that picture, firstly you look at what? You look at your picture firstly, whether I am very good, whether my eyes are closed or open. Firstly, you look at your picture, your photo. How do you understand your picture? Have you seen your face by your eyes? How did you recognize that you are there? How you know your figure, your picture, your face? You have seen your face in the mirror. When you recognize your picture in the photo, is that your picture in the mirror still? No. Your picture is not in the mirror at this moment when you recognize it, but you know that. You recognize by your previous experience. It means you read your own mind. Our all experiences are also like that. Not only your previous experience, even just now, if you look at me, if you are listening to my voice, you may think that I am looking at this person moment. I am listening to this sound at this present moment. You can listen into something at the present moment. You can look at something present moment. But you are unable to recognize something at this present moment. You recognize something after something has disappeared. Our mind is so fast. That is why we think that I recognize something at this present moment. We can see something at the present moment, but when we understand it, our eye has ceased, forms have ceased, eye consciousness has ceased, eye sensation, everything has ceased in the present moment in the primary experience. We recognize everything through our mind consciousness. When we recognize something through our mind consciousness, there is no more material thing in our world, in our experience. This is the thing that the Buddha realized. This is the thing that Buddha proclaimed to the world. This is the place where we should be confident in what the Buddha taught. Firstly, we listen to it, then we contemplate it again and again. Finally, by meditating, we realize this. We should cultivate our wisdom in 3 levels. Sutameya Panya, the wisdom of hearing. Chintameya Panya, the wisdom of contemplating or thinking of. And Bhavanameya Panya, the wisdom of meditation. As soon as we hear something, we smell something, we hear something, we taste something, if we can understand the first experience, the material world has already ceased. I recognize everything through my mind consciousness. that mind consciousness also arises and ceases at the moment. Then our mind doesn't depend on anything in the material world. As soon as we see something, we hear something, we taste something, we smell something, we contact something through our body, we immediately look at inside. Whenever our mind depends on the material world, it means we are ignorant. Here we have fight with ignorance, whether I am ignorant or not. Whenever we experience something, if our mind depends on the material world or persons, it means we are ignorant. It means we are not mindful at the present moment. Whenever a person says something, if we get angry or upset, it means we depend on ignorance. Since we still think that the sound is in the outside world, that sound belongs to that person. When you blame me, if I get angry, it means I think that that sound belongs to that person. And also that sound is still happening in the world. That is why I get angry. If I know that sound has already ceased, I recognize that sound through my mind consciousness. Then nobody or nothing can disturb my peace of mind. This is the place where we should be confident in what the Buddha taught. This is just understanding about the Dhamma. Not only we should know this message, but we should keep our attention in this reality by practicing mindfulness. First, we should have vision. This is the way how suffering arises and ceases. Next, we should be mindfulness. We should be mindful. Whenever we are mindful, we have entered the way of happiness, the path of happiness, the liberation, getting rid of suffering. With this understanding and confidence in what the Buddha taught, we gradually go forward. Then all the activities we do daily, we do mindfully and slowly. There we can see noble silence. Silence is one of the signs that we practice Dhamma. Noble silence is the best music in this world. Silence is the best music. That is not just silence, but that silence based on this Dhamma, practicing mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness, we are mindful. We are silent. You know, when we speak a lot, we can practice Dhamma. We can practice some primary qualities, metta bhavana, loving kindness. But it is difficult to practice the deeper level qualities in the Dhamma, inside meditation. When we are silent, it is very easy to practice Dhamma. If you are silent with the Dhamma, it means you are more happier more than you are laughing or talking. You may think that when you talk with others and laughing, you are so happy. Are you happy? You are happy but a little. But when you are silent with this understanding, reflecting on impermanence, based on mindfulness, you are happier. It means you enjoy your life. You enjoy the present moment. Your happiness is the present moment. That happiness is not in the future. As much as you come to practice Dhamma, you have started your happy life, spiritual life. The Buddha says, Santutti Paramandanam. Contentment is the greatest treasure. Santutti Paramandanam. Happiness or contentment is the greatest treasure. Arogya Paramalabha. Health is the greatest gain. Vishwasa Paramanyati. Trustworthiness is the best kinship. Nibbana Paramansukam. Nibbana is the highest bliss. Arogya Paramalabha. Santutti Paramandanam. Vishwasa Paramanyati. Nibbana Paramansukam. Health is the greatest gain. Happiness or contentment is the greatest treasure. Trustworthiness is the best kinship. Nibbana is the highest bliss. When we have this understanding, we are not hurried to be. We are not hurried to attain enlightenment. Why is that? We enjoy the present moment. But we have correct vision. If you have kept the destination in your navigator, and if you drive, no matter whether you fast or slow, you are gradually reaching the destination. Since your address is correct, and you go on the correct path, gradually you are reaching the destination. While you are going to the destination, you are enjoying the environment. Then all the issues are opportunities to your life. Then you have no problems in your life. Every issue is an opportunity. And also, we enjoy the world, we enjoy our life. Our happiness is in the present moment. But here we can see very special quality, which is silence. If you always talk again and again, it means you are not enjoying with the Dhamma. You are enjoying with the material things. The more you practice Dhamma, the more you are silent. The more you silent, the more you happy. The more you are happier. Here we find a very special meditation technique, which is breathing meditation in and out. Very smooth, peaceful and calm meditation technique that we find, we start to practice, which is Anapanasati Bhavana, mindful breathing. When we breathe in, we are mindful. When we breathe out, we are mindful. We keep our attention in this present moment, around the nose 𝐶𝐻 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓾 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓾. Sati nimitta, the sign of mindfulness. This is the start point of our meditation, Sati nimitta. නාසිකාග්ගේ වාමුඛ නිමිත්තේවා. We keep our attention around the nose 𝐶𝐻 in the present moment. This is the sign of mindfulness. Please try to practice this sati nimitta, or the sign of mindfulness, as much as you can. Then you can apply the highest understanding that you have at this moment. Have any question? We spend 1 hour. 1 hour is finished. Now you can ask your questions. I have to explain some more things, but you look sleepy. Therefore, I give you chance you to ask some questions. Okay, when we learn Buddhism, we should study 3 steps. Buddha Charita, Sasana Itihasa, and Buddha Dharma. We should learn the character of the Buddha and the history of Buddhism, and also Buddhist philosophy or Buddha's message. The character of the Buddha, the history of the Sasana or dispensation, and Buddha's teachings. These 3 things are very important. Especially, we should learn the Buddha's character. Not only this present character, but even his previous lives too, according to Jataka stories. There was an educator or scholar who explained the Buddha's teachings. He says, the more I know the Buddha, the more I love the Buddha. The more I love Buddha, the more I know the Buddha. This book is very important when you are going to study Buddha's message, Buddhism in a nutshell, written by Narada Mahathera, who was in Sri Lanka in Vajrarama temple. This book is very important, very small book, few pages. And next, the word of the Buddha, a German scholar, 𝒮𝓇𝒾 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓀𝒶. This book is very important. All the doctrines what the Buddha has explained for 45 years is summarized in this very small book written before 85 years. Still, it is a very fresh book written by a German scholar. And also this book, very, very important, what the Buddha taught, written by 𝒁𝐴 Rahula, a Buddhist monk from Sri Lanka. This book is translated into many languages. Please try to read these 3 books. You can get these books very easily. The pen drive that I gave you, all books are there as PDF files. What are the main teachings in Buddhism? What are the main teachings in Buddhism? When we discuss the Buddha's message, we can find main teachings. They are 4 Noble Truths, the Triple Gem, Dependent Origination, and Karma and Rebirth. These are very important. And also 3 characteristics: Anicca, Dukkha and Anatta. The 4 Noble Truths, Dependent Origination, 3 characteristics, and the Karma and Punarutpatti or Punarbhava, or the Karma and Rebirth. These topics are very important. Among them, the 4 Noble Truths is very, 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 very important. The Buddha says, all the doctrines that he has explained for 45 years can be summarized into one topic, which is the 4 Noble Truths. Suffering, the arising of suffering, the cessation of suffering, the path that leads to getting rid of suffering. Dukkha Satya, Samudaya Satya, Nirodha Satya, Magga Satya. When you understand the first truth, Dukkha Satya, the noble truth of suffering, you understand 5 aggregates. Sangittena Panchupadana Dukkha. In short, arising of 5 aggregates is suffering. And also when you understand Samudaya Satya, the origin of suffering, Avidya Paccaya Sankhara, Sankhara Paccaya Vijnanam, Vijnana Paccaya Namarupam, the ascending order of the divine origination. When you understand the Nirodha Satya, the descending order of the divine origination. Nirodha Satya means the descending order of the dependent origination. And the very interesting one, which is Magga Satya. When you understand Magga Satya, you understand all the spiritual faculties, what they are. 4-fold mindfulnesses, 5 Baladhamma or spiritual faculties, 7 enlightenment factors, Noble Eightfold Path, Samatha Vipassana, Sila Samadhi Panya. All the doctrines that you have to practice can be summarized into Magga Satya, the noble truth of the path that leads to getting rid of suffering. That is why the Buddha says, all the doctrines that Buddha has explained can be summarized into the Four Noble Truths. Dukkha Satya, Samudaya Satya, Nirodha Satya, Magga Satya. When we come to understand, we gradually start our spiritual path. The very first one is 𝒮𝓃 ℮𝓃𝓾 ℒ𝒶𝓃. Sila, or virtue, is the foundation of our spiritual life. Sila, discipline in our speech and behavior. When we speak something, when we do something, we think again and again whether it is correct. Discipline in our speech and behavior. With this discipline, we practice Samatha Bhavana, tranquility meditation, or the concentration meditation. Here especially, we practice Metta Bhavana. The Buddha says very clearly, he who wishes to attain the peace of mind should practice Metta Bhavana, contemplating on thus, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. If you get angry very soon, if you are always angry, it means you haven't started your spiritual journey. Metta Bhavana is the door of our spiritual house. If you don't practice Metta Bhavana, it means you haven't started your spiritual journey yet. Metta Sagata Manokamma. Always we should think, may all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Metta Sagata Vachi Kamma. When you speak something, you speak every word based on Metta Bhavana. When you talk to someone, when you speak something, you speak with metta. Not only that, when you do some activities physically, you do all activities based on Metta Bhavana. Metta Sagata Manokamma, Metta Sagata Vachi Kamma, Metta Sagata Kaya Kamma. Then you can see the beauty of your life. Your life is so beautiful. It depends on not even your physical body, but your mind, based on Metta Bhavana. He who disturbs your peace of mind with anger is your master. The one who can make you angry will become your master, since you are controlled by that person. The one who can make you angry will become your master. Why? You are controlled by that person. You have no real freedom because of your anger. Therefore, be very careful. If someone can make you angry, it means that person is your master. Whenever a person is unable to disturb your peace of mind with anger, it means you are your own master. If a person is unable to disturb your peace of mind with anger, it means you depend on that person. Your mind is your master. That is the freedom. That is the emancipation. That is the liberation. Buddha and his message always gives us the energy how we can overcome external challenges, external enemies. Buddha says, we can win hundreds of enemies in the battlefield. That is not the real victory. What is the real victory? Real victory is defeating our inner enemies, craving, anger, and delusion. This is the real victory. For that, mindfulness is very important. First, we should have vision how suffering arises and ceases. Whenever we are ignorant, we think that still there is something outside world. It means we are controlled by the outside world. If we know that the outside material world has already ceased, when I recognize something, it means we are not ignorant. It means we don't depend on the outside world of persons. It means nothing can disturb our peace of mind. As soon as we experience something through our senses, we immediately understand the material world has already ceased. I recognize everything through my mind consciousness. Then we see the world as empty. 𝐁𝐮𝐝 ℒ𝒶𝓃𝓀𝒶. We see the world as an empty village. It doesn't mean that there is no material world. Actually, there is a material world which consists with the four fundamental elements: solidity, fluidity, heat, and motion. That material world arises and ceases at the moment. It is not permanent. And also, when we recognize something through our senses, the material world has completely ceased. We recognize everything through our mind consciousness. Okay, dear friends in the Dhamma, we have been talking about the Buddha's message in short. In next days, we discuss the same thing again and again. The Buddha also says that, O monks, I have to explain only suffering and the cessation of suffering. Even Buddha has explained only suffering and the cessation of suffering. We also have the same thing. No more things. What is the suffering? This world. If we think there is a world at this moment, this is the suffering. It means when this material world changes, we are unhappy, we are suffering. That is why always we are going to control the world. And also, if we can understand this reality, we maintain this material world. We clean the world, we prepare the world. We do all activities in the material world, but our mind doesn't depend on anything in the material world, in the external world. Okay, if you have any questions, you can ask. Or you can ask now your questions. If you have this confidence, then we have Viriya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. You know, if we can understand this reality and if we are confident in this message, we have energy. As much as I can, I practice this message again and again. Then we practice mindfulness. Always we are mindful with this understanding. Being silent, with less speaking, breathing again and again this reality. While we are cooking, while we are sweeping, while we are cleaning, we are thinking this message. And also, as much as we have lesser time, we come to the rest place and we meditate again and again. Then meditation is our habit. Finally, it is our hobby. Firstly, meditation is a habit. Finally, it becomes a hobby. Practicing Dhamma should be a hobby. That is an enjoyment. Whenever we practice Dhamma, mindfulness or meditation, we reduce negative thoughts from our minds. Our mind is so pure and calm. The more we practice Dhamma, the more we purify our mind. The more we purify our mind, the more we are happier. The more we are happier, the more we have inner motivation in order to practice this message again and again. This is like a circle. Practice, reducing defilements, purifying minds, enjoyment, happiness, encouragement, inner motivation, practicing Dhamma. Again and again, this goes as a circle. Finally, mindfulness is our best friend. We usually find best friend from the outside world. Actually, finally we understand, oh my friend, my best friend is inside, not outside world. Mindfulness. Mindfulness is the best friend. If you are mindful, you are with the best friend. If you are not mindful, you are with the worst enemy. Don't forget it. Whenever you are mindful, you are with the best friend. Whenever you are away from mindfulness, you are with the worst enemy. Don't forget it, whether I am with my best friend or worst enemy. Whenever you are suffering, whenever you are angry, it means you are not mindful, you are with the worst enemy. Whenever you are silent, whenever you contemplate on this message, you are mindful, you are with the best friend. It means nobody or nothing can disturb your peace of mind. Okay, that's enough for now. We explain very primary teachings in Buddhism. Gradually, we go to the deeper level day by day. But we will talk the same thing. As soon as we come to listening to Dhamma, we start our practice. Sometimes you may think that firstly I listen to Dhamma, next I will go and meditate. Actually, that is not true. Listening to Dhamma is a 𝒮𝓃𝓾 a place where we liberate. Yes, you may think that enlightenment comes when we are closing our eyes. There also we can attain some kind of enlightenment levels, but a lot of disciples in Buddha's time attain enlightenment while they are opening their eyes listening to Dhamma. Listening to Dhamma is a place where we can liberate. If we are listening to correct message of the Buddha in correct way, that is also a place where we practice Dhamma. See now, whether you are wise or ignorant, whenever you look at me, if you think there is a person outside, that is the nature of ignorance. As soon as you see me, you hear me, if you think that this sound and this form has already ceased, I recognize everything through my mind consciousness. That mind consciousness is also impermanent, that arises and ceases at the moment. That is your practice. That is your liberation. At that moment, you don't depend on anything in the outside world or persons. That is liberation. By practicing meditation in and out, mindful breathing, we should contemplate on this message again and again. I is impermanent, forms are impermanent, I consciousness is impermanent, I sensations, all the things that belongs to my experience are impermanent. They arise at the moment and they cease at the moment. And also finally I understand everything through my mind consciousness. That mind consciousness also impermanent. It arises and ceases at the moment. Then we gradually come to equanimity, 𝒮𝓃𝓾. When we practice metta bhavana or any samatha bhavana, finally we come to 𝒮𝓃𝓾 or equanimity. That equanimity depends on the material world, in the conventional truth, in the mundane level. But when we practice insight meditation based on mindfulness, there also we come to 𝒮𝓃𝓾 ℒ𝒶𝓃, the enlightenment factor of equanimity. That equanimity based on the ultimate truth in the supramundane level. Equanimity is the final achievement, final result. Okay, that's enough for today. By the power of listening to this message with good attention, you acquired a lot of positive thoughts in your minds. By the power of this spiritual development, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May all your spiritual goals meet its success. Finally, may all of us attain the supreme bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkhaṃ paṇṭhāya nirdukkhaṃ, bhayaṃ paṇṭhāya nirbhayaṃ, sokaṃ paṇṭhāya nissokaṃ, hontu sabbe pipānino. Dukin pelena sat, dukin midettva, bihen pelena sat, bihenati vettva, sovinte vena sat, somnas vettva, nitin vihama sat, suvapat vettva. May all beings be well, happy and peaceful. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.